What if I told you that the fastest way to get what you want is sometimes to ask for the opposite? This sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But it often works. Reverse psychology is one of the most powerful influence tools hiding in plain sight. When used ethically, it can help you navigate relationships, negotiations, and life's toughest challenges. This isn't manipulation, it's understanding human nature and working with it, not against it. In this video, we'll explore what reverse psychology really is, why it works, and then unleash the 7 practical reverse psychology tricks you can use ethically in relationships, at work, and in everyday situations. I call upon you to stay with me till the end. These insights might transform how you communicate. We live in a world of resistance. Tell someone they should do something and watch them dig their heels in. Push harder and they push back harder. It's human nature. We crave autonomy and resist being controlled. Ironic, isn't it? The more direct we are about what we want, the more resistance we often face. That's human nature for you. Let's jump into the video together, beginning with definition of reverse psychology. Before we unravel the tricks, let's get crystal clear on what reverse psychology actually is, because it's widely misunderstood. Reverse psychology is a persuasion technique that involves advocating for a behavior or belief that is opposite to the one desired, with the expectation that this approach will encourage the subject to do or believe the opposite of what is suggested. It works by triggering psychological reactants, our natural tendency to resist when we feel our freedom or autonomy is being threatened. Here's the psychological mechanism. When people feel pushed in one direction, they instinctively push back to reassert their independence and control. Reverse psychology leverages this by creating the illusion that doing what you actually want them to do is their own rebellious choice. It's important to understand what this isn't. It's not lying, it's not toxic manipulation, and it's not about controlling people against their will. When used ethically, reverse psychology simply presents choices in a way that respects human psychology's natural resistance to being told what to do. Reverse psychology recognizes that direct approaches don't fit everyone. Sometimes indirect paths are more respectful of individual autonomy. Robert Cialdini's research on influence shows that people value things more when they feel they've chosen them freely. Reverse psychology creates that sense of free choice, even while gently steering toward a particular outcome. The key is intention. Are you using this to help someone make a decision that benefits them, or purely for selfish gain? That ethical line matters. Now let's explore 7 powerful ways to apply this understanding. Trick number 1. The don't do it technique. The most classic reverse psychology move is to tell someone not to do exactly what you want them to do. This works especially well with naturally rebellious personalities or when dealing with resistance. When someone feels they're being told what not to do, they often become curious about doing precisely that. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Sometimes creating an artificial obstacle sparks motivation. For instance, instead of nagging your partner to go to the gym, casually mention, "You probably shouldn't start working out this week. You've got so much going on." Their contrarian nature might kick in. With children, this is gold. "Don't you dare eat those vegetables" often works better than "eat your vegetables." The psychology. By removing pressure, you remove resistance. People want what they think they can't or shouldn't have. Use this sparingly and ethically. Overuse makes you transparent and loses effectiveness. Trick number 2. The strategic disagreement. Here's a sophisticated approach you can adopt. Temporarily take the opposite position to make someone defend your actual viewpoint. When you want someone to commit to an idea, gently challenge it. They'll often strengthen their resolve by defending it to you. Socrates used this masterfully, asking questions that led people to argue themselves into wisdom. Example: your teenager wants to pursue music. Instead of enthusiastically agreeing, express mild doubt. "Music is tough. Are you sure you're ready for that level of commitment?" Watch them passionately defend their choice, thereby strengthening their own commitment. This works in relationships too. If you want your partner to take a vacation and they suggest one, show slight hesitation. They'll often become the vacation's biggest advocate. The principle: people convince themselves more effectively than you can convince them. Your job is just to create the space for that self-persuasion. Trick number 3, the paradoxical intention. This comes from Viktor Frankl's logotherapy. It encourages someone to do the very thing they fear or resist, which often eliminates the behavior. Frankl taught, "What is to give light must endure burning." Sometimes embracing what we resist transforms it. As an example, if you're dealing with insomnia, trying harder to sleep makes it worse. Instead, tell yourself, "I'm going to stay awake as long as possible." Paradoxically, you'll often fall asleep faster. With anxiety, if someone's afraid of blushing in public, you might say, "Try to blush as hard as you can right now." The impossibility of forcing it often reduces the fear. In negotiations, if someone's being stubborn, you might say, "You know what? Maybe this isn't right for you after all." Suddenly, they're reconsidering their resistance. This works because it removes the power struggle. When you stop fighting against something, it often loses its hold. Trick number 4, the "I don't need your help" approach. Do you want someone's help? Tell them you don't need it. This leverages our natural desire to prove ourselves valuable and capable. When you say you don't need help, helpful people instinctively want to demonstrate their worth. Seneca observed, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." In influence, the quality of approach matters more than directness. For instance, at work, instead of asking, "Can you help me with this project?" try, "This project is really challenging, but I'll figure it out on my own." A supportive colleague will often jump in to help. In relationships, "I can handle moving all this furniture myself," often prompts your partner to insist on helping. The key is authenticity. If you say it with obvious expectation, it backfires. Say it genuinely, and people's helpful nature emerges naturally. This respects their autonomy while activating their desire to contribute. Trick number 5, the lowered expectation. Set expectations deliberately low to inspire someone to exceed them. This works because people like surprising others and proving doubters wrong. When you express low expectations, their ego pushes them to do better. As in, before a difficult conversation with someone defensive, you might say, "I know you probably won't agree with this perspective, but..." Often, they'll be more open specifically because you expected resistance. With children, "I bet you can't clean your room in less than 30 minutes" transforms a chore into a challenge they want to win. In sales, this might be outside your budget, often makes people determined to prove they can afford it. Let me explain the psychology involved in this. People want to exceed expectations, especially when those expectations feel like gentle challenges to their capabilities. Jonathan Haidt's research shows that moral reasoning often follows moral intuition. We decide first, then justify. Lowered expectations create intuitive resistance that drives action. Before we continue to even more powerful techniques, count yourself as an exception for making it this far. We've covered 5 reverse psychology tips and tricks. 4 more game-changing strategies are ahead. Stay with me. Trick number 6, the forbidden fruit effect. Make something slightly off-limits or scarce, and it becomes instantly more desirable. This is psychological reactance in its purest form. We want what we think we can't have. Epictetus taught, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Yet human nature craves the unavailable. Example, in marketing, limited time offer, or while supplies last creates urgency through artificial scarcity. In dating, being slightly less available often increases attraction. Constant availability can decrease perceived value. With information, "I probably shouldn't tell you this, but," makes people lean in with intense curiosity. Parents know this intuitively. Forbid a teenager from seeing someone, and you've just made that person infinitely more interesting. Use this ethically by creating genuine scarcity around valuable opportunities, not manufactured manipulation around worthless things. Trick number 7, the reverse compliment. Here's how to use it. Instead of praising someone for what you want them to do, praise them for the opposite, triggering them to prove you wrong. This is subtle and requires finesse, but it's incredibly effective with competitive or prideful people. For instance, do you want someone to be more punctual? You know, I actually appreciate that you're so relaxed about time. Some people are too rigid about that stuff. Watch them start showing up on time to prove they do value punctuality. Want a colleague to contribute more in meetings? I like that you're comfortable letting others take the lead in discussions. Suddenly, you see them become more vocal. This works because nobody wants to be pigeonholed, especially with characteristics they don't admire in themselves. Carl Rogers taught unconditional positive regard, but he also understood that people grow toward their ideals when given space to choose that growth themselves. Use this carefully. It can feel manipulative if overdone or transparent. Conclusion. Well, my friends, we've 7 powerful reverse psychology tricks that can genuinely help you navigate life more effectively. Here's what matters most. These aren't manipulative tools for controlling people. They're psychological insights for working with human nature rather than against it. Used ethically, they respect autonomy while gently guiding toward positive outcomes. The key to all reverse psychology is authenticity, because if people sense you're playing games, their trust evaporates. These techniques work precisely because they align with genuine psychological principles about reactance, autonomy, and self-determination. Here's my challenge for you. Share in the comments. Have you ever used reverse psychology successfully? Or has someone used it on you? Let's learn from each other's experiences. This community thrives on shared wisdom. If this video gave you new insights into human behavior and influence, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell. It helps us reach more people who want to communicate more effectively and understand psychology better. Stay insightful, stay authentic, and cheerio.